I'm Chris. I started Inside Out 5 years ago. We have a call center and a staffing business, and we're here in Manila mainly to talk about how we built both businesses. Probably mostly the call center because we hire so many people in that. And then also how we're building the staffing company, how we're helping US business owners hire people in the Philippines, all over Latin America, mainly Colombia and Mexico, and then also Egypt and South Africa for probably like 30 plus different roles at this point consistently. So let's go around, introduce everybody first. So say your name, where you're from, what your role is, and maybe like a little bit about what you did before you joined Inside Out. Rain, why don't you start because you're in the back.
All right, thank you, Chris. So I'm Rain. I had worked in the BPO industry for almost 17 years prior joining Inside Out. So that was my first company, and this is my second company when I joined Inside Out. I was a manager in my previous role, and currently I'm working as a team leader for Chris, managing the receptionists. I have about 14 or 15 receptionists that I handle as a team leader, and there's two of us right now.
And for those of you that don't know what BPO stands for, because most people probably don't, it stands for Business Process Outsourcing. So think of like back office functions that are repetitive for big Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 companies. So like call centers, could be accounting, could be recruiting, stuff like that. So they'll take different processes in their company, outsource it to the Philippines, and there's like thousands and thousands of people in that industry here. All right, Albert, you're up.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So, my name is Albert. I'm from Angeles. So, same with Rain. I've worked in BPO as well for, I think, almost 9 years before I got transferred here. So, after I graduated, I worked my way up. I started as an agent. Then, with my last role, same with Rain, I've been a manager. I handled like 50 people, doing making sure that we hit our target on a monthly basis. Then my second company is here, Inside Out. So same with Rain. I'm one of the team leader. I'm currently handling 10 VRs right now. So my main role is to make sure that we improve their call handling, making sure that our non-negotiable behaviors are being handled, making sure that we satisfy our clients. Yeah.
Paul, take it away.
Oh, yeah. So, name is Paul. I'm the operations manager for Inside Out. Just a brief background. My career experience has been really a roller coaster. I'm a medical technologist. I'm a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology. So it has not really nothing to do with managing stuff. It's really on the medical side. Just gotten an opportunity to work in the BPO industry. So it's pretty long story, but I just grabbed the opportunity, started growing from there as an agent as well, becoming a subject matter expert, handled multiple kinds of accounts like Microsoft. We're really talking about big companies. And then worked my way up until I became an operations manager. Been working in the industry, BPO industry, for like close to 20 years now. I've been working with Chris for like close to 3 years now. Chris started the company. Then he hired me. Amyris got me, and then she hired me. We kind of worked everything out. It was really difficult especially when you started a business that doesn't really have a full process in place yet. So that's the goal. That's the role of the operations manager. Really polish things out, create new processes, so that everything will be much easier for everyone. Okay. So, for example, agents can just easily take calls, handle the client's businesses, but it doesn't stop there. You need to make sure that the process needs to be lean. The clients would see the value of what the service that we are offering. And then once they see that, we keep them much longer.
So speaking of lean, so you have the Six Sigma
Yeah.
black belt. Is that which one
Green.
you have? Green.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Because like I think every person we've hired that has a Six Sigma has just been
Yeah.
really
So
useful.
yeah. So mostly when it comes to Lean Sigma, it's making sure that you don't do over bandwidth, meaning you're spending too much resources on one specific area, and then you got some bottlenecks. So you want to make sure that the process is lean. That's number one. Second, there's no what do you call this? Mainly when it comes to Six Sigma, it's a structured methodology using quality tools in order to achieve breakthrough performance.
And it comes from manufacturing, right?
Yes, mainly for airport, manufacturing, industrial. Because just imagine this: if you're a lot of people would think, what is 99% success rate? Is it good or bad? What do you guys think?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds pretty good, 99%, right? Now apply that 99% in like airlines. So if you have
Pretty bad.
like 100 planes flying on a daily basis, 99% success rate, means out of the 100,
Yeah,
you got one.
that ain't working.
Now, it's not gonna work. So that's why it's called Six Sigma, because you reach the first level, which is 99.6, Sigma 1,
Mm. I actually didn't even know
99.66,
that.
Sigma 2, 3, until you get like 99.99999. Then you reach the Six Sigma. That's the highest probability, right? There's no such thing as 100%. So out of like a billion, right, flights, yeah, maybe one can crash, maybe, but that's much
So
possible.
all of that translates really, really well to what you're doing because, like you said, when I started the business, it was me. I was the operations manager, and I was managing the team. I was doing the marketing. I was doing the sales calls. Like I was literally doing everything,
Yep.
and I was spread too thin. And as a result, everything that I was doing was like it was just lacking
Yep.
because I couldn't put enough focus into anything because I was spread out. So bringing you in, like you were the first hire that like initially stabilized things to build a foundation to spring off of. So that's super important. So if anyone's watching this and you have a business where you're trying to get some traction and you're kind of spinning your wheels because you're doing everything, you're wearing all the hats, that's what I recommend people hire for first. Hire an operations manager to get you grounded, map out all your processes for you, or at least work with you to map those out and just get a good foundation before you scale and hire people.
Yeah.
So in summary, these three guys work in the virtual receptionist business that I started. That's what VR started. And then let's continue going over this way because Yana, you're in the VR service as well. Oh wait, you guys didn't say when you started. So you started 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
You were like 3 years ago.
3 years
and then
ago,
you
yeah.
were
Just started 3 months ago.
3 months ago. Yeah, so you're new. But you're doing awesome. You're awesome. And then Yana, you started a year ago?
Yes, a
Did
year.
you just hit a year?
Sorry.
Did you just hit 1 year?
Yes, I just hit 1 year last month.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild year. Yeah. So, yeah, my name.
In a good way.
You for me. It's very exciting. But yeah, my name is Yana. I'm one of the client success specialists for Inside Out Virtual Receptionist. So before I joined in Inside Out, I was actually in a lot of industry before. First, I also started in the BPO industry as an agent, and then I also tried to be a bank teller, or actually, it's foreign exchange teller in the airport, and then I started my work from home journey, and I was working as a sales representative also for an entertainment gambling and entertainment business before I joined in
What
Inside
was
Out.
the name of it? Is it
What was the name?
DigiPlus?
No, it's not actually.
No?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's
'Cause I
not
saw
one of
that
the
company outside my hotel window,
Mhm.
and apparently online gambling might get banned here. I saw. And they have
Really?
thousands of people working in that building. Anyways,
Yeah, but it's not like that. We were targeting a European market before,
Mm.
but yeah, and then I joined in Inside Out because yeah, it's crazy for those kind of
Is
companies.
it because of the government crackdown on illegal
not
gambling
really.
sites?
That was before. Yeah, I was already with the Inside Out when every when the chaos happened with the what Pogo thing. Yeah. So I already left that industry way before that.
So basically, Yana was hired as a customer success person or account manager, whatever you want to call the role, to come in and just give all of our clients extra attention, make sure they're happy. If they have problems, we can service them better. She's like our eyes and ears with just making sure everyone's happy and taken care of.
Yes.
Okay, Geraldine, you're next.
I'm the youngest here, so I just turned 1 month. I'm not sure why I'm here, but I'm still here. So my name is Geraldine. I'm with Diana. I'm one of the client success managers or specialists, or however you want to call it. I was also in the BPO industry. I actually was with the previous company for 8 years before joining. Same with Diana. Just like what Chris stated, that we are like the ears and the eyes of the business for the other business or for the clients that we work for. So we are just not targeting and meeting targets, but more of like exceeding them whenever we can. So we are we will be the ones, we're like the bridge of Inside Out, and so as the clients, making sure that we are adhering to the process, making sure that we are exceeding them, and making sure that they are happy.
And what'd you do before?
I was also actually a senior associate manager, more of like Albert and Rain's like higher position than them. So I was, it's like a BPO
Who's your
thing.
boss?
Not really. I mean, it's just a senior, like a 0.5
like a
kind of
threat,
thing.
right?
Yeah, just a step below Paul, a step higher than Albert and Rain, kind of like that thing. So I was with that company for 8 years,
Okay.
and then joined here, and I'm just a month old. So
Was it like a illegal gambling company as well, or no?
I plead the fifth here. I don't wanna say yes and a no, but no, it was definitely legal. So not in jail. So
Not yet.
yeah, that's it from me. I think 1 month thing. I think that's all that I can say.
All right, Kezia, you're up.
Yes, I'm so glad I didn't go first. I'm so glad. I mean, I'm so relieved. So I think I had to start my journey with the BPO, just like anybody who graduates from college and gets the opportunity to be in the BPO industry. I grabbed that because at that time it was, the better salary for like someone who's a graduate of my course, psychology. Yes. So,
You were reading me the entire time.
yeah.
We should ask you like to treat some of the VRs. as-
But I didn't get into the I didn't get into the industry because at that time the pay was way less as compared to the BPO. So I jumped in. I met Rain, and we've been in the same company. I was there for 13 years. He was there for 17.
Almost 17.
Since it was
Oh, yeah.
born.
That's
Sorry.
so rare. You stayed at a job for 13 years. He was there for 17. Most of the people that apply for jobs, it's like 3 months, 6 months, like just bouncing around
Yeah,
forever.
we'll call them hoppers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 90% of people. There's no tenure. They don't stick with anything. So good for you. All right, Misty.
So
Tell us about. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
tell us about the role.
Yep.
Yeah. What's
I started as in the BPO industry, I was exposed more in training. I was a trainer for roughly over 10 years in that role, in that company. And then I tried to venture out of the BPO industry just to kind of get what I really want to do after. So I got into the tourism industry where I became a tour guide, a regional tour guide within the area, in the Visayas area. So I was there, but then the pandemic hit. And so everything closed down, and I was hired for a different company, but still a trainer as the same role. And so I was there for roughly 3 years. I just had to quit because I couldn't move back to the city as my mom, I had to go back home in the province where I was originally from, in the southern part of the Philippines. So, and then I got hired here. Yeah.
So basically, you're a trainer. You make sure that all the people answering the phone in the call center are equipped with all the education they need. They're doing everything they need to do a good job.
That's right. The process has to be managed. If there's anything that needs to be changed, or if there's anything that needs to be improved, we do the analysis and we find out which way it can be understood better. So basically, when we speak of a trainer who does those things, they dumb down everything. I mean, the process, just so it's easier for everyone to consume and get. And that's quicker because everyone else are just, with the roles in the operations where everyone else are just there. They're so busy with their own thing. And those things are mostly missed because nobody would sometimes think that when you're new or when you're adjusting, you get through those things and then you miss the minor details, such as people not getting it as quick as you would think they would.
Makes
And
sense.
yeah, and so you'd think that everything in the operations is running smoothly or they had the training. I mean, that's what we basically think, right? But not diving into why they mess up sometimes slows down the operations and every transition in the business.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, Misty, you're up.
Hey, Chris. So my name is Misty, and I'm not from the VR of business. I'm from the headhunting. I'm employee number 2. So before Inside Out, I've been in the corporate setup for around 10 years before transitioning to working from home. Would you believe I worked in Saudi Arabia for 2 years, also in the recruitment? So I've never been in the BPO industry, but the closest thing that I could have been in is a outsourcing like outsourcing offshore clients. So we hire employees, like corporate employees, to work with our offshore clients. That's the last company that I've been before transitioning to working from home. And then when I started working from home 2018, I've been in one company for 5 years. So that's healthcare, but we hired as well. Not V. We don't call them VAs, but still like a corporate setup. But mostly we cater to we're like a US agency or a recruitment boutique, and we hire
For what types of roles?
healthcare, like physicians, RNs,
So people
CNAs,
working in
doctors.
hospitals.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, so not remote roles. Like
Not
we're
remote
doing.
roles. So all on site. So imagine the it's really challenging for these professionals to get into to phone calls, because of course they're currently in duty. They're not really available to take calls and
So
whatnot.
which one is much more challenging for you? Your current role as a recruiter, or is it your previous role? Like, because for me, uh, having someone talking to someone face to face, you can easily. It's much easier for you to feel or gauge them whether this guy is suited for the job. It's much easier that way. Now, remotely, I mean, we just do everything online, right? So for you, which one is much more challenging?
And then also one other thing to add is when you're hiring people remotely, because it's virtual, it's almost like they have no shame in flaking or not showing up to an interview.
True,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a lot of the professionalism that you normally would have if you go to an office and you go meet someone face to face.
Yep.
It's like they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So there's so many people. I like when I first started hiring people outside the U.S., it was a pain in the butt because I would go and spend all this time going through applications, talking to people, scheduling an interview, and they don't show up. And I'm like, how do you not show up to an interview? Like, what's wrong with you? But it ended up being like half of people,
Yep.
or
So
half of the amount of people that apply.
So to answer Paul's question, I guess the timing that I've been in both setup was that when I started working from home, it's like it's during the time that we don't have any much opportunity to work from home, so it will be like a privilege for us to work from home. So definitely the show up rates are high before.
Oh, I get it.
And then after I joined Inside Out, it was after the pandemic already, and there's a lot of tons of opportunities to work from home. So I guess that's really changed the perspective of the applicants. Like, cause I could apply to other, or there are a lot of opportunities, not just this company. So maybe probably that's also a factor to it.
That makes sense. All right, Maris, your turn. So you got hired. You've been around the longest out of anyone here, and
Yes, my name is Maris.
that's why she's on a throne.
Yeah, with Rain, my king. Yeah, so my name is Maris, and I've been working with Chris for 5 years, 5 lovely years. We started working like multiple industries, like working with real estate and then the virtual receptionist. We started it together from scratch before hiring you, Paul and Rain. And then we started the headhunting company. But yeah, background, I used to work in the BPO industry for 5 years as well. Way back when I was still 19 years old. And then I moved to Dubai way back 2022. Worked with the main Amazon hub for 6 years at first as the executive assistant to the CEO in Amazon, and then worked as a head of administration. So that was my background. And then pandemic hits. I mean, we were not affected. The job was still there, but I decided to just come home to be with my parents because they were like, I got so worried about COVID and all those stuffs. So I came home around 2020, and I don't know what to do after that because I've been abroad for like 9 years.
Is it true that Amazon provides their drivers with like pee bottle? I'm just asking.
No,
You heard about that?
In Amazon, it's one of
You're
the
gonna have
best.
to edit that out.
No,
I'm just curious. Seriously, I'm just
Don't
curious if
answer
it's
that.
true.
Just keep going.
it's quite the opposite. When I was working in Amazon, we have even like people who's massaging us, like
At the office?
Yeah, in the
Benefits, that's
office.
good.
Wait, you're working in the office and they have
Office
people
in-
come
in
around
the
and
main-
massage you at work.
Yeah, we have like
I need
they're
to
in
step
pink
Step
uniform.
things up.
Yeah, exactly. No, because we
Gonna
can
send a
work
masseuse to
anywhere.
everyone's
Like
house.
there's couch and there's bin bags. You don't have to work in front of your desk. And then we have like unlimited popcorn, ice cream, and then there's coffee guy who's gonna ask you whether you like tea or coffee. It's like that every single day.
That's nice.
So it was like we're like princess, and there's like free gym if you want to go to the gym or something, or sleeping quarters and all that. So it's quite the contrary. But yeah, that was my experience there.
Amazing. So so you started off as my executive assistant
Yes.
for a total of like what, 3 days?
No, I won't even say that because when I started,
It was
I don't
pretty
know what
quick,
to
though.
do, right? I even asked you like, okay, what to do first, and I was like, okay, I thought I'm going to like manage Chris's day-to-day activities.
too, yeah.
But then later on it was like, okay, what do you want me to do first? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I ran into the same problem that everyone runs into.
Exactly.
You're
yes.
sitting there and you're like, I think it'd be great if I hire someone to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hire them and then it's like now dawns on you that it's a lot of work to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And you're too busy and you're just like, I don't know what to have you do.
Exactly. So we started with the question, okay, which part do you need help the most? And that time it was the what do you call that? The real estate,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I came in, assisted you with the phone calls, the cold calling and all those stuffs.
Oh, that's
and
right.
yeah. So that's when we started. And then I love doing it with my colleagues, Angel. And it was quite a good of experience because I come to talk to a lot of people. And then actually that's the main reason why we started headhunting or hiring business, Chris, because there is one time wherein I spoke with a realtor who was asking if I'm looking for a job and he wants to hire me. Do you remember that? I was like,
I remember that happened a couple of times.
yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's like, ting, Einstein. That's when we started. We somehow decide to like, okay, there's a lot of people who needs help, not just Chris, but also others too. So we started with the call center and headhunting. Yeah.
So you're like, I've said this a bunch yesterday, you're so flexible. Like I would just, you got hired as an EA and did it for like, I don't even know if you technically did it at all. And then you're like cold calling a week later and you're like, whatever, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And you've shifted into like a recruiter and then like, I don't know, quasi operations and just like so much random stuff, which I think pretty much everyone here is flexible. Like no one, it's probably my fault for not planning enough up front, but like very few people came into a role that was like clearly laid out and stuck with that. Maybe some of you guys now it's been a little longer, but it goes to say a lot for how flexible most people are in general. So like sometimes when I'll meet with business owners, they have paralysis by analysis or over analysis. We're like, oh, I don't want to hire this person because I need to plan out every single little detail and I have to have all the training materials mapped out, and they're like too diligent. But then as a result, they never do anything. They never end up hiring the person or months go by. So I think there's definitely something to be said for firing first and then aiming afterwards, or just being kind of scrappy and like figuring out 50% of what they're going to be doing and then winging it the best you can and like figuring it out along the way. That's just my 2 cents. That seems to work really well for us.
Yeah, but the good thing about that experience, Chris, is that's when we basically learned on how to manage things. So right now we've been assisting multiple clients, hiring different types of virtual assistants, just because we were able to choose the right person because of the past experiences that we've had. Like it was very chaotic at first, but we learned to manage them on day-to-day basis. And based on that experience, we are now considering ourselves as expert in choosing the right person for the right
Yeah,
client.
we've done it so much.
Yeah.
So we've hired a lot of people, and you guys have interviewed all of them. And basically, like, thank God. So when this started, I was posting jobs and I was getting people messaging me, and I was emailing them back, trying to coordinate interviews. And like I said, most of them would no show. And I was actually taking my own time to interview people. And I'm so picky, as you guys know. Like I'm really looking just for only I'm really only looking for like the best of the best people, and anyone else, because I just don't have any time. Like I don't even want to waste my time talking to them. And that's a lot of work to do that. It's basically a full-time job up until you hire the person. And then if you're hiring as many people as we are, like we just hired 3 people yesterday.
Yeah,
Right? Like that's a lot of work to go and find 3 people. How many people applied to that job? Like 1,000? Yeah.
close to it.
And we need to screen them one by one.
We had 1,000 people apply and we hired 3. Like 1,000 applicants. I don't have time to go through 1,000 applicants. That's so many people.
So much work done into just selecting the 3 in terms of analyzing the potential, what they did in the past, how good they are, their interviews, and like their overall skill set and fit for what is required for like on our side.
And now we have it down to like a science. So thank God I have you guys now, and like all of it streamlined because it's freed up so much time. If we didn't do that, then we'd be growing at like a snail's pace because we have to hire a ton of people. It's a lot of work. Unless someone else does it for me, like it ain't happening. So now it's to the point where you guys screen the 1,000 people, God bless your souls. And then you guys go and meet them and do a double check after they're already interviewed by a recruiter. So you screen them, you find them, screen them, the recruiter interviews them. dishes them over to you guys. You check them out. You go do like the final sniff test. Probably get rid of some people for whatever reasons. A lot of them, I think, because they're failing the actual assessments, which is great. So when we used to hire people, we weren't doing any assessments. So we would interview them pretty rigorously, and then we would start them. And then sometimes they would start working and we'd be like, oh crap. Like this person is just
Did we just get the right person, or did we just, I don't know.
it's
What
Good
lacking-
on paper. Good on paper
Yeah.
and good when you
Good on
talk to them.
yeah,
But when you
they're good at
actually
interviewing. Like some people they like interviewing is a skill, right? If they know the right things to say and they know what you want to hear, they'll just press the right buttons and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Their resume looks good, and then they get to work and you're just like, oh my God, what have I done? And then what could be even worse is they start working and you're invested into the person. You're like, well, I just put all this time into looking for them and interviewing people, and I just need to train them more. Like, let me just double down on training. And it doesn't work. And most of the time, people don't change. So it's better to cut your losses. But point being, now that we do the assessments in the interview and have them do like a little bit of a sample of what they'd be working on, we can weed those people out. What else are you guys looking for when you're going through the short list before you notify me that they're good?
Mainly, we first assess the initial interview from the recruitment side, and then we do check the assessment. What were the results? If it's satisfactory, then if that's good to go, then we check the resume. Because like what Chris said, there are a lot of applicants, like again, over 1,000. And we want to make sure that we hire the right person for the job. So there were multiple cases that we interviewed someone claims to be good at this thing, and then when we ask them and ask them interview questions regarding to that skill set that we need, they can't even tell us why. So how can we trust that person to do that specific task that we're looking for if they don't even know what's the task itself? But they're claiming on paper that they've been doing it for a couple of years, for 5 years. So the interview part, the screening part in the recruitment side is very, very important. Not only working in the remotely, but I guess for all kinds of business, right? So that's one thing. And myself, when I interview someone, I mostly ask scenario-based questions. I want to know if that person was able to experience that kind of maybe simple scenario, and if that person was able to give me specific scenarios, what were the things that person did. Aside from that, what did you do beyond that? Then that's okay. But if that person can't even tell me what did you do, maybe just give me like, hey, you know what? I was like checking the KPIs, which is basic stuff. That for me, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they give a lot of cookie cutter kind of
Right.
BS answers, and you can't
So
accept those.
I need to assess
General.
whether you're capable enough to think on your own and find solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm looking for.
Rain, what do you look for? Because you have like one of the best
Well-
objective measures of like finding what's right or wrong
Yeah.
at work.
So
Like your BS detector is like so spot on. I've never seen anyone like that before.
Well, I think it had something to do with the bad experiences that would definitely shape you, and I probably had a lot of those in terms of dealing with people. So I can use that as my frame of reference to like know exactly what type of person I'm talking to based on the experiences that I had, which is like, I mean, it's not really great. So now you were there last night on like the company's event. You've seen the people; they're really great personally, and a lot of them are also very good in terms of doing their job. So it's like I'm trying to screen them on their personality as well if it's going to be a good fit, because it's really bad if the person is very highly skilled but not really good in terms of
Like how so though? What are the red flags and what are the green flags?
normally some of them can appear very, very confident. Like there's just the confidence level is just too much. Like, okay.
Way over the
much.
top.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's how a lot of people are though. Like they're very confident, but they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. That's
Like
why
they're confident about stuff that makes no sense.
right. So if that's gonna be something that's just too much, like it's too good to be true. So probably it isn't. So something like that.
It's probably good in some roles, like if you're hiring someone for sales. Like if
Exactly.
they're overly confident, I'd be
Correct.
like, I kind of like that, like
We
just
did
be
hire-
completely certain about what you're
We
selling.
did hire someone like that. So it depends on the need. So if you need
Yeah.
someone sales related, we're gonna
Yeah.
look for a specific behavior.
But for
Someone
other
who's-
roles, like that could just backfire.
Exactly. So that's why it depends on the role. So if we're looking for a specific role, there are specific qualities you're looking for. If you're looking for sales, you got to look for someone who's really, really confident. If it's going to be a different type of role, it has to depend on what are you looking for in that specific individual. So
Right.
mostly it's behavioral when you're looking at the person.
Profiling.
Profiling. Yes.
Yeah, mainly. For example, if your client is in the medicine field, maybe what do you call that? Home for the aged stuff,
Yeah, someone with a background.
right? So you don't want someone that's really strong. You want someone. You want to
Warm.
hire someone
Yeah.
that's
Who's warm.
warm
Yeah.
and someone that that you can trust.
Mm.
That's what you want to look for.
A comforting presence.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Misty, what do you look for? You're the guru. You have the most experience.
Yeah, but I'm really like a firm believer that the candidate or the VA should be a culture fit to what's like the client, if the client already established what culture fit is, or she's starting. For example, we have like one loyal client that during the interview the VA wing it, like the came from same industry, because it's law firm, but it's very specific. It's in a estate planning, so she doesn't have any like I believe like the gap only is they don't use the same CRM. But the thing is, the VA doesn't, since she have already an experience from the same industry, she's having a hard time doing training. Like, there's already some sort of like, I already know that. Yeah.
That's what the VA is saying?
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
And
So she's not being coachable.
yes.
Which is like the worst.
Yep. And I guess she doesn't have like she cannot tolerate that the one who's training her is also a VA, not not the client.
Oh,
And
she's got a bit of an
yep.
ego.
Yep. And
Run, girl.
yeah. So the client asked us like what I guess like I really like her during the interview. I thought it was a good fit, but what do you think where should we improve? And then I told her that since you are really working well with the first VA that you hired, you guys really talk about what will be your culture fit, like how do you how would you guys define someone who would really work for you? And I guess it really boils down to the attitude, to the character of the person, because again a lot of clients would say I would hire more for character and personality than skills, because skills can be taught and learned.
Yeah, it matters so much, especially the coachability part. Like, if I'm training somebody and they're not open-minded to feedback, it's like it's just an uphill battle.
Exactly.
But alternatively, if they're very open and they genuinely want to learn and they're like very hungry for information, it's so much easier to make them better, and it's also just better working with them. Like, there's
Yep.
nothing more frustrating than working with someone with a closed mind.
Yeah.
The cultural thing is huge too. I mean, we have obviously everyone in here is from the Philippines, but I think we have a very diverse group now. So we have people all over the place, which has definitely created some challenges too. Are you good there?
Just about the mic.
What? You messed up the mic?
No,
It's okay.
was telling me don't play with the mic.
No, it's the
yeah, he
the
was
foam. The
saying-
foam. It's gonna cause.
Because they can
I'm
hear it.
nervous.
They can
hear it.
from
Yeah.
the-
Sorry.
the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, it's so loud
It's okay.
there in the booth. I didn't notice. I was the first one to be called out. It's because I'm near the window. Anyway, this part will be edited out.
Please
we're
cut
keeping
this
this
part,
in.
please.
Okay, what I was saying is we have people from all over the world, which sometimes I'm like, maybe we should have stuck in one country because it could have been a little easier, like culturally, because there's like you guys compared to people in Colombia, it's like a totally different culture, right? But there's also, I think there's positives to it as well. Like different types of people can fit in different roles because they have different personalities, they have different perspectives. But it definitely is challenging getting everyone like kind of cohesive. We have Middle Eastern people, we have Latin American, Asian, it's like, yes, African. So what else can we talk about?
That part's gonna be edited out.
That's your main contribution?
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, not sorry.
I think before we started, I was feeling so okay, but when we started, I was finding myself here, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I think I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna
the mic.
Yeah.
stop. I don't know. I just couldn't figure. I mean, it was just,
You couldn't what?
I got mixed feelings when I face the camera. That's why when I speak, I don't look at this. I don't look this direction because I get so nervous looking at the camera.
That's
It's, like,
okay.
scaring
I mean,
me.
there's different angles.
Okay.
So you don't need. I think it's weird if you look right at the camera and you're like,
I don't know either. It's the first time.
no,
So
it's okay.
this way or this way?
I'm just trying to hide from like this
Um,
shadow. I'm just, you guys can just like, listen to me, and I'm
Oh my gosh.
And I saw there's another camera right there, so
Yeah.
I can just hide. Like, you can still see me.
it's so scary. It's like,
What?
it's like-
What? Everyone goes from laughing to like dead silent in 2 seconds. I was just gonna say, why don't we talk about what we actually do in the staffing company, the headhunting service? So the vision that I had was, I don't want to post jobs. I really don't like interviewing people. I love meeting people, but like going through like so many interviews of the people that I just don't really want to talk to is very draining to me, because you obviously have to show up and put energy into talking to the person, right? Which for me, I find that to be tiring. So if I do that like 4 times in a day, I'm like, oh, just shoot me. And then if I have to do that like 50 times to hire someone, I'm like, I'm done. Please don't do this for me. So my fantasy was basically having someone else doing that for me and just being like, hire this person. They're good, and I could trust that person and just snap my fingers and do it. Like, it's so much easier. It saves me so much time. And I only want to work on stuff that I like. I don't want to not like what I'm doing. So that's essentially what we ended up building. You started it, right? So like the first person that was our first client came from TikTok. So I don't even remember how he found me. It was like years ago, over 3 years ago. And I posted a TikTok video. He sent me a message and was like, hey, I started this company. His name's Brandon. I don't know if I'll ever see this, but he's hired. How many people has he hired now? Like 6 people?
6.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Plus-
So he,
yeah, no, before 3, and then they added recently.
yeah, he came back and
Yeah.
hired a couple more people.
Still with them.
Yes.
Amazing. So he's
Yes.
hired 6 people.
Yes.
That's so cool. Yeah, I have no idea what video I posted. I was like just starting the TikTok, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to talk about like people that I'm hiring. And I think he sent me a DM and he's like, hey, I started this company. And he basically built a robot that handwrites letters.
Yeah.
And then people will pay him to do mass mailings, but it'll handwrite the person's address and the return address on the envelope. So it looks like an actual letter. And then it handwrites on a postcard too. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I need to hire someone to do, I think the first one was customer service. I'm pretty sure.
Customer service manager. It was Jarvis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You remember. That was a long
Yeah,
time
he's still
ago.
with the company, and it
Oh,
was
cool.
Yeah.
So he DM'd me and I got on a call with him and he's like, can you help me do this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, what do you charge? And I was like, shit, what do I charge? I was like, $500. He was like, okay. And I was like, shit, that was too low.
You just said yes immediately. I think I should have like said like
but that's okay because it got us started. So I was like, yeah, no problem. We can do that for you. Like, but I was transparent with him. I was like, this isn't a business, but I can do it just to like help you out. And then basically I just asked you to go do it. And then he went and found him somebody. And then we did that pretty low volume for a while, just random people coming through TikTok. And after a little while, I was like, this is interesting. Like, we already have a process and people want help and, you know, we're helping people get jobs. Like, it's pretty cool. And then Misty, you came along like I don't know, it was maybe like a year after we started doing that, or maybe like 9 months, as kind of like more of an experiment, because we were getting more of those people coming through just purely off of organic traffic. And then we just built it from there. And it was, I mean, it's completely different now than it was when we started. It was like, honestly, like, sorry to the first 10 clients, but like, you know, I'm sure we still delivered, but like, it probably took a little longer and wasn't as streamlined because like we were just figuring it out. But now that we've cranked out so many over like years, it's actually it's a great service now that tons of people really love using. So we do the same thing that I explained was my fantasy before, but for clients now. They come to us, they pay us once, and then we go and interview tons of people for them and give them a VA without them having to do any work. And then the other thing that's really cool, which like I don't even get because I'm not a client, is they get a huge guarantee on top of it. So like for me, if I hire somebody and it doesn't work out, then you got to fire them and I have to pay you guys to go find someone else new, right?
Yeah.
But the clients get a better deal than I do actually, because they get a 6-month guarantee. So if they come back after 5 months and the person didn't work out, we replace them completely for free. So yeah, I kind of want to be a client actually. That sounds like a good deal.
Why don't you sign up?
Yeah. Take my money.
Yes.
Please take my money.
I'll send an invoice.
Yeah. So we are really successful at finding the right people, and it's very rare that people come back and use the guarantee. Like very, very rare. And I will say that sometimes, just objectively, sometimes it's the client's fault because sometimes they're not very nice. So it causes people to quit, right? Like they're kind of hotheads or bullies, and they're kind of not, they're not nice to work for us. So the person that gets hired is like, screw this, like I'm out. This is abusive. So that's some of the people. And then other times, obviously, like when you hire someone, you're taking a risk. You don't actually know who they are until you start working with them. It's impossible. You can do as much due diligence as you possibly can up front to minimize the chances of having turnover and having to fire them and go get someone else. But you don't really know until you start working with them. That's just the truth. So there's always a chance that they're not going to work out. We like to think that we minimize it significantly. But for the people that hire someone and it doesn't work out, what do you think are the top reasons? Like how do people avoid having that happen? What are the red flags you notice when interviewing and screening people that if you successfully identified them, you'd minimize the chance of turnover? What do you think? Not everyone at once. Even you guys can chime in too, anyone.
Yeah, for the operations side, I mean, it might be a little bit similar with the recruitment side, because of course we do onboard clients as well, right? So we had a lot of clients, not a lot, but I'd say some clients of ours, they don't treat us like partners.
We don't know. We're supposed to be talking about hiring.
Yeah. Okay. So Wait. Hiring. Let me try to.
I was
shift
saying,
here.
so say you're interviewing people and
flags.
you don't, you like,
Oh, okay.
in a perfect world, you hire someone and then like you, 5 years later, you're still working together, right? Like you don't want to hire someone and have it not work out. That's not good for anyone. It's a waste of everyone's time. So what do you look for ahead of time? Like obviously it's not ever going to be perfect, but what do you look for to minimize the chance of the person not working out? What are like the top things? Like for example, you were saying cultural fit's huge, coachability is big. Like if you can just tell the person is defensive or has too big of an ego, like it's usually hard to work with them. What else? You tell me.
I would say the drive of the candidate
That's a big
or
one.
the employee. Yeah. Initially, that's one of the important things that we should be looking for someone who's going to be working with a company or with a client. Similar with these people working with you right now. But in order for you to identify that, I guess it's very important that we have to have a clear understanding of what really the client needs, what the client wants. Other clients would say, okay, I want someone who is willing to work over experience, like someone coachable. The others would say, I want someone who's with experience. Coaching we can do later. So I think you have to have a deeper understanding of what the requirements is when it comes to timeline. How soon do you need this person to work to start?
Yeah. Ideally,
And-
you get both if you can.
Exactly.
Attitude and experience.
Exactly.
That's like the perfect situation.
Yes. So can you, like, as a client, would you be able to give up experience over I'm willing to work, or would you be like, it depends on what they really wanted. And you would, as a recruiter, it is our role to identify what really the requirements are, most especially the timeline.
Basically, their wish list.
Yes,
And you go out,
exactly.
you look for the wish list,
Yeah.
but you know that you like if you're looking for a unicorn, they probably don't exist. So you need to be picky at least initially,
Yeah.
and then but not be so picky that you never make the hire.
Exactly.
Otherwise, like you're not going to grow.
So red flags would be identified based on those clients' requirements because it varies. It could be a red flag for one client, but not a red flag for another client.
Okay.
agree.
What about like 3 general red flags?
I would say like the attentiveness. For example, when initially you invite them for an interview and then they tend to like reschedule. Yeah.
Or they
Or be late.
show up and like they're in like a
Late. Late,
dirty
yeah.
t-shirt and their hair's
Yeah, they're
messed
not-
up. And you're like,
They're not
They just
physically
woke up.
this is your best
prepared.
This is like your
Yeah.
best presentation.
You know, there's just no effort. And so the attitude all throughout the hiring process, from communications and you know the way they respond to you, their attentiveness when it comes to okay, yeah, I need to get hired. What else did I need to do? So the proactiveness.
Yeah, that's huge
Yes.
too. The other one that I'm thinking is when people are too focused on money.
Yeah. Money-driven.
And not like, for example, you interview them and at the end of the interview, you're like, so like, what kind of questions do you have for me? And they're like, how do I, like, how much do I get paid or how do I make more money? And like, literally have no questions about what they're actually going to be doing, but they're just focused purely on money. Obviously everyone's working because they want money. Like as much as I would like to think you guys just want to work with me all the time.
Like the one riding the bike,
Yeah.
going after.
Yeah, exactly. I realize that's not the case, but it's like an attitude thing because some people get that in order to make more money, you need to do something to make more money. Like you need to make the business more money and then you can make more money instead of just like doing the bare minimum and putting your hand out. Like that's just not really how it works. So I think that's a big one too, because that happens once in a while.
Yeah, and then most importantly, Chris, the tenure, the background, like
Yeah.
where-
So like you and Rain,
Yeah.
14 years tenure and 17.
Mhm.
That's a good green flag because
Yeah.
it's also rare.
Exactly. So the trend of their experiences, the way they respond, is it matching to what they wrote on their CV? So those are one of the things like I do as a recruiter that I usually look out for.
Yeah. I was actually asking Kezi and Rain yesterday. I was like, you guys stuck around for so long in your jobs. Like, how were you able to do that? Was it the company? Did you like the people you worked with? Like, what was the reason? I actually want to know because it's so rare. And like, we want that too for what we're doing selfishly. Like, we don't want to lose people because things only get better at time. Like, you get better relationships with the people you work with. You get better at your work. Like, everything compounds over time. You can make more money because you're adding more value. It's just, it's win-win. Like, what do you guys think? What matters to you guys?
It's usually the people you work with that can make a person stay.
Like, if you're not getting along with the people you work with, or
It's not really
your
more of
boss
like
is not
it's
nice
not-
to you, or
I think it's more of a subjective approach to things. It's not really how my boss treats me or how the people I work with treat me. It's really how people make you feel, not directly, but like how you feel with the ambience, with what does it feel working with them, not necessarily them treating you wrong or whatever, but
like,
it's
if
just
you can be yourself. you know?
exactly, and more of like you're being
That's
accepted.
That's a
yeah.
big one.
It is a
Yeah,
big
because
one.
I've
Yeah.
had work environments where like no one's themselves. Everyone's got an act on, and they're stifled.
Play
and-
pretend and
yeah, everyone's fake, and it's just like it just feels like the worst thing ever.
it feels synthetic.
Yeah. So yeah, for me personally, not that I can quit, but
Oh no.
sorry guys. For
You
me
can.
personally, like I if I was in your shoes, I value exactly what you said, being myself and being able to be authentic. And if I had to be fake, I wouldn't want to stick around. What about you guys?
I think it's big on the culture, like Missy mentioned. When we started in the company, we kind of built it, and we surround ourselves with people who also slowly built the culture. And so it's more fun and not more work, even if the workload gets heavy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't really feel like work. It's not like work that's stressful or draining you.
well, it is stressful. I mean, honestly, but it kind of lifts the load when you work around people that you can trust, has your back and, will support you. So I think that's kind of the case.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think, Yana?
That's exactly what I wanted to just that I can be myself and kind of learn to love what I'm doing or loving what I do. That's what really would let me stick to the job, knowing that I have a support system, not just outside of work but inside the work. That in my case, I always have Paul and Rain, supporting me even after working for over a year now. They still have my back every time. So
Yeah,
that's really
they're
a plus.
Very supportive. What about you?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
you're
Yeah, with my previous company, it's the same thing.
you were
After
in your last job before this for a while.
8 years.
Yeah, that's a long
so
time.
That's after I graduated.
That's great.
So it's a quick story. I met my wife there. So same with
So that's why you stayed.
same with Kezia. It's like we're considered as a pioneer account. So it's like I'm batch 3. So it's like since I worked my way up, started as an agent, we started to have that. We created that same process, making sure that started from escalation, call behavior, handling. Same as what when Paul mentioned. I got promoted as a subject matter expert. It's a huge difference right now because being a team leader in the BPO role is you're the go-to guy in terms of questions because you're the expert. But in here, it's quite different. We have a lot of clients, 200 clients. So I tend to just focus on just the call handling
Yeah.
itself. And
But
those
what? So you were in your last job for 8 years, though.
8
Like,
years, yeah.
why didn't you leave? What made you
Not
stick
really
around
stay.
for 8 years?
Same with Guess. It's with the people. Because
What specifically about the people though?
because as of this moment, I still have the group of friends with them. It's like I can say 8 of them. It's more of like it fits the needs.
Like
And-
camaraderie.
Yep, definitely. And in terms of management, we feel like we're being valued. I think that's one of the major factor because everything that we're very open for feedback. So let's say we're going to create a specific process. One of our teammate will go ahead and provide feedback, and we easily like we make change right away since
So you get
there's
a
no
say
conflict.
in what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah. So like when we hire people, I don't just say like Paul and Rain, I'm picking Albert and you got to deal with it. Right? Like it's usually me saying like, let me know who you guys want to work with.
Yeah.
Who do you like and who do you think is a good fit? And then of course I'll check them out too to make sure you're not off your rocker and picking a bad person,
Yeah.
which you never do.
Yep. I think huge factor is you should really be open for feedback. So especially if we are creating process, so sometimes ego will just kick in. So I think
From the people up in the hierarchy.
higher, upper
Yeah.
management, yeah.
And it trickles down to the employee.
And you
Yeah.
have a lot of those, especially in the BPO industry.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big problem. That's a cultural problem where if the leaders think that they know everything
Yeah.
and they're not open-minded,
Yeah.
but it's actually just kind of dumb because like you're not in all places at all times. Like you don't have the time or like you're literally not doing all the work, so you can't possibly know what's going on in every process and every role.
True.
Literally everything that's going on. So if you make like in order to make a good decision, you need to have objective data and perspective on like how the work is being done and what the result is or what the result is not.
Yep.
And if you're not doing the work, how do you make a decision? You don't. You have to rely on the people that you're working with and have them fill you in so that if you're making the decision, you're making the right
Yeah.
decision.
I think some factor with me is that when I started as an agent, my team leader before is the senior operations manager right now. So I've been working with him for that 8 years since
Mhm.
we're both growing.
Oh,
So
so,
we're
so you
comfortable
guys
with each
came
other.
up and grew together.
Yep. I think
Yeah, lucky for them. I'm actually probably different than everyone,
Okay.
except there's a lot of us. It's just that we haven't hired them. So that's what I'm trying to say.
What
So
do you mean?
I'm the only one different here. I've stayed almost 17 years, but my experience is different. So,
Okay.
I mean, Kezia can attest to that. I'm not very sociable with the people in a sense. I'm not looking for the culture.
Yes.
You always say that, but I
That's
think
true.
that you are
You,
outgoing.
you,
and
you can
social.
ask Kezia. I said,
I believe you.
yeah. So the thing is, I'm not looking at the culture in a sense. Initially, I'm just there to work. That's it. So it's
You're
not
just
like
a workhorse.
no, I'm also not that. So it's like I get paid. I got to do my job. It's like it's my own personal thing.
Commitment.
Yeah, it's on my own commitment. You can find those committed people, but you just have to like learn to find them and assess that they're that person. Because it's not like this is my second company, but it doesn't mean I haven't applied in others. It's not a lot, but they just didn't see my value when I submitted my application. Never heard back from them. So in a sense, there's a lot of those situations. I stayed for a very long time, and it's not like everything was great. It's not like my bosses are great. To be honest, my bosses were horrible.
Let's edit it out.
No, but
Edit it out,
the good
edit
thing
it out.
is,
Probably have to edit that
see,
out.
listen. But the good thing,
I think that's a red flag.
no, see? But the good thing is, like I know it's gonna. I always say this: argument is good. It can help everyone, from the bosses to you.
That's true.
So I argue a lot with them. They see the value. So we grow together with the decisions. It's not like I'm being argumentative.
I'm just
Yeah?
laughing because I'm just picturing like if you're getting interviewed and someone's
No, I don't do that.
And
On my
you're like-
interview. I'm not gonna say that. Obviously,
You're like, I like to
Hires-
argue with my boss. And,
It's gonna be a red
And all my
flag. You're not
bosses
gonna
are
hire me.
horrible.
Yeah, you're not gonna hire me.
I don't want this guy.
But personal experience, there's a lot of people like that. All you have to do is, learn to find them. There's a lot of us like that who stayed in our company, and there's still a lot of them who stayed 16, 17, 18 years with the same company, and they're still there. And I know a lot that are with the same tenure too. So mostly, again, it's not like I have too many things that I'm looking for. So as long as I can talk to you, and then you will spend the time to listen to what I have to say.
So it's not like really what he was saying, like camaraderie or what they were
Yeah.
saying. Yours is like what? More purpose driven, or
Yes, like
you
as
want to
long
like
as-
just master what you're doing.
As long as you would listen to what I have to say, like this is the problem, and you're gonna listen to me, even
Oh.
if the environment is very stressful. Like this, everything is on fire. As long as we can talk about it, like all right.
So you just want to make sure that you have the tools to do your job and do it well and do it correctly.
Yes.
And then if people would get in your way and wouldn't allow you to do that because the culture is dysfunctional or people aren't listening to you or talking to you, then you would start to check out. Because
That
you'd
is
be like,
correct.
this isn't being done correctly. I can't do anything about it. I don't want to be associated with this. I'm out.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess it
excellent.
boils down to the type of leader you are. So there's like 4 quadrants, right? So we got people oriented, dominant type, process type, and then a follower. So Rain, I guess, falls under maybe mid between dominant and
equilibrium.
process oriented.
correct.
So it's not really into like the people oriented
Yes.
stuff. He doesn't really like add that as a motivating factor for him to stay. So it doesn't really matter.
That's
So
a good point.
yeah, so there are people like that. So I guess it also shows that our recruiting side knows all of this stuff, and that's also a requirement from the client. Like what Mari said, that they do tend to evaluate if you're the client, what kind of people do you need, right? What kind of behavior, culture, everything like that. So we can easily identify, filter out, screen people, and then find the best person, find
Yeah,
the
it's a
best
great
candidate
point.
for you.
Ideally, you get a mixture because,
Yeah.
like,
Correct.
if you hire 50 people and they're all
Dominant.
processed and
Yes,
dominant,
yes.
That's
It
exactly.
gets
And then
war.
yeah, you have people that want camaraderie or they want
Yeah.
more of like
Yeah.
the social side. They're gonna start to check out and be like, I'm not a
Yes.
robot. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this. So you need both.
I told
But you also can't have like
Balance
pure
it out.
camaraderie
Yeah, yeah.
where you're just
Balance
eating
it.
popcorn
Yes.
and getting massages at work because like you're not gonna make any money and it's not
Yes.
gonna work.
Actually, Chris, I told Paul specifically this. The next team lead has to be the complete opposite of me. I have been telling him that you cannot have more me.
Wait, Albert.
Yes.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
that was fits the
Exactly.
personality. Because I told Paul personally,
Oh.
you gotta find
You know.
the next person has to be more sociable, more with the team as opposed to
It's
me.
good self-awareness that you're.
Yeah.
I know my
you're-
strengths and my weaknesses.
It's like
That's
the
what we did.
unicorn. It's like the
Based on the
unicorn.
virtual
We're playing bad
receptionist
cop and good cop
feedback,
here.
They
Yeah.
always say like, I really like TL Rain. Every time I check on them, I was like, I really like working with TL Rain.
You have not interviewed the other people.
No, especially from Angel, from Carol, from Kesha.
But they don't have a
Initially,
choice. They don't have.
They don't have a choice.
They did it now. Albert's here.
before.
I think initially they were scared, to be honest. I mean, I talked to a lot of them and they opened up, but then eventually they adjusted because they know that those are justified. I mean, you're not being hard on them just because you want to, but you're being hard on them because it needs to be that way for the business to survive.
I had to explain
And,
myself
yeah.
sometimes. Like I'm doing this. I take the time to explain. And then, they
Yeah.
understand the rationale. Even if they got angry initially,
Mm.
and as long as I can feel that they're starting to become attention, then I talk to them
Yes.
and I change my tone. Like I have to like lower down so we can meet in between. And then once they understand me, then I'm getting better traction at getting them to do things.
But can we say that Rain's mindset right now is quite rare with the age group, maybe with the Gen
Yeah.
Zs? We can say that's rare right now, right?
But there's a lot still. Trust me. There's a lot.
Wait, it's rare with what?
With
Generation.
The current
mindset.
generation,
Yes.
Gen Z.
Gen Z?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, correct. That's why I said to Paul, we need to hire someone that's within the early generation so that they can manage the upcoming.
Yeah, but you're not
workforce.
Gen Z.
I'm not.
You're a millennial.
Yep. But I'm just going to share with my previous company. We had like a 2 weeks training adjusting our mindset on how we coach people
Mm.
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
Gen Zs compared to what we have before.
What'd you have to do? What's the difference when you're
Because
coaching?
before it's you just going to just lay out the process to them.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
Here's the
Nothing
paper.
else.
Here's
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
here's the violation. Here's your paper. But right now, you need to at least explain, ask
Yes.
why it happened,
Warm it up a little
Yes.
bit
and at
first to
least give them a
happen.
verbal warning first before the
Yes.
paper, and that's the new process for us.
Oh,
This is like
interesting.
what happened with the hub stuff thing. We're in
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's pros and cons to that because on one hand, it's like it is a little bit more work and energy and effort to coach them and show them what to do. But on the other hand, you can't fully argue that's a bad thing because you don't really want to just work with people that are mindless, that are just going to be like robots and just accept everything right away. Like, it's not really like the sign of like a super intelligent person thinking for themselves. I think it's actually probably better. I mean, it is more effort to get stuff done and give feedback, but I think it's reasonable if someone's going to tell you to do something differently than how you're doing it. If you ask why, there's a reason.
There should be
Then you can buy in and see it for yourself and then do it.
documentation and everything. That's what the Gen Z really needs now, based on my experience working with them.
Being a Gen Z too.
No, I'm a millennial.
That's why we
millennial.
hired someone
Right.
who's like 18
Yeah.
in our reception who doesn't have a work experience, so we can have more diversity in the workplace. So like when I look at the resume, I also look at the added value that they can have for the team. Just like with Andrea earlier, Andrea worked as an engagement specialist, so I know we could tap into her if we're gonna have events
Yeah.
or whatever, which
That's why
happened.
She was good in the event.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
she's an
I
engagement
hadn't met her
specialist.
before, and she was just up there like
I know.
announcing
She's
everything.
confident.
I was
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah.
It was good. Okay, one thing I did want to talk about is just working remotely and like how to make that actually work because it's not easy. Like this is the first time any of us have met in person, and
Yeah.
it's like I mean it's really cool, but it's also kind of weird because we've like talked to each other for so long and literally never met each other.
Everyone looks different.
Or strangers.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that think you can't do it though. I mean, I think mainly like the older generations, like they think you have to be in an office and you have to be around each other, which I kind of agree with a little bit because there is a lot of value to being in person. But I think as long as you meet in person at least once a year, probably ideally like twice, which we would do if I didn't live so far. But you can totally build fully remote companies and have it work fine. And
Doable, yeah.
many people are afraid that everyone's going to be at home just not working and they're just going to be slacking off or whatever. I want to know what you do and actually everyone, what does everyone do for just managing the team and making sure they're productive? Like, how do you know they're in their desk working? How do you know they're productive? Like, what do you do? Everyone's working from home all over the place,
Right. So
all over the world.
yeah, for my role, mainly, first of all, yeah, with my role, my job is to make the process lean or easier for everyone. Because we might be doing like 1 to 10 steps, which we can just really make it really short and just 2 steps and we're good to go. Meaning improve the efficiency, quality and efficiency of pretty much the whole process, make it easier. Now, how do I like, I don't really strictly monitor everyone, what they do. I do monitor the task that's at hand. Was it done? Because I can evaluate how long does the task will take in order for you to finish it. Right? So for example, if it's a simple email, I don't expect you to like to finish it like after 4 hours. It's simple email, right? It could be simple data analysis. I'll give you the numbers that you need. I'll give you the Excel sheet and everything like that. And then I do expect that it gets done. So if it's not done within my expected time frame, then I reach out.
Yeah, so you're not micromanaging.
I'm not micromanaging.
Right? But you wouldn't really do that in an office either, right? Like, say you're in an office, like, what are you gonna do? Walk up to every person and like stare at their
Well,
computer?
yeah,
over
BPO
their
industry, they do
shoulders?
that.
Yeah.
They walk around.
You have
That's
to.
normal.
Yes, normal
They have the
Chris.
term
Yes.
MBWA, management by
Yeah.
walking
Okay,
around.
I guess people do that, but,
Yeah.
but like no one wants to work in that environment.
Yes.
That-
Yes.
That also doesn't. I don't think people work well with that. Like if you have someone breathing down your neck all the time, what are the odds you're just going to be like your best self and dialed in?
Mm.
You need some space and like a little freedom to be able to spread your wings and think.
You tend to rush things if someone's breathing
Yeah.
behind your neck.
So-
Your output
So the
quality
net of it is like as long as you know what they're working on, like what is their goal for that day or for their role, how long should it take, and you have like some way of checking in
Mhm.
that doesn't take up a lot of your time, you can see if they're working or not.
Exactly.
Like if you need, if they're supposed to send an email and it gets sent 4 hours later, you're like, what are you doing? Like, what
okay,
the heck
there's
are
something
you doing?
wrong, right? Do you
Yeah,
need help?
Exactly.
Right?
What
Is
about
what's
you? 'Cause
Stopping
like
you?
you're in a different role.
Well, to add to what Paul said, that's also one thing I look at, the delivery of the task. But one other important thing is like prevention. Like I consider attendance as a weather forecast. So if you start to have issues, you will go absent once and then once every month. That
So
means
true.
your performance have already suffered because there's something, unless you are genuinely sick, you know, you can look at it in the trend and you would know this person's probably having issues in terms of motivation, showing up for work. They're going to slack off. So that's an indicator. Even before, you don't need to micromanage them, but that's a good weather forecast. That's a good metric to indicate that there's something going on. So you can either do a spot check, look at there, because we have a monitoring tool, which is good to monitor. Of course, you're not gonna police the entire activity, but at
Yes,
least,
we do.
right?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
all the time.
exactly. So at least when you can look at historical data, like last week, are they doing okay? Are they still on their station? Because you know, and that's a good indicator of like being able to monitor everyone, and they're able to do their
That's a good
execution.
point. I think, as silly as it sounds to maybe some of us, going back to what you were saying about explaining why you have to do certain things, I do think that it's a good best practice to assume most people don't know very basic things. And then if they don't do what you assume was basic, like show up on time
Right.
or finish your shift, but you never told them they had to do it, technically it's on you, even though it is a big red flag. And maybe some things like that are like so dumb that there's no tolerance. But my point is crap, I forgot what my point was. Where was I going with that?
Expectations should be set first.
Oh, I had a point. Fuck, I can't remember. Sorry, Ryan.
It's fine.
Oh, I had a point. Someone else can talk. I think my brain's powering down. What I was gonna say. Hopefully, we can just edit that whole chunk out.
Oh yeah.
That was a bad brain fart. Sometimes when I'm thinking, I'll have an idea and then I'll have a tangent and I go too far down the tangent and I get lost. So what I was gonna say is, oh my god, I forgot.
We definitely
Oh,
add
I remember.
bloopers.
Okay.
Let's do this. Come on.
All right. Jesus Christ.
Take 3.
So yeah, take 3. So when it comes to setting expectations, I think you really have to explain why they have to do whatever it is that you're enforcing. For example, most people don't know how a business actually runs. Like they don't get it. Especially if you worked in BPO and there's 4,000 people. I was telling Paul the other day, like it's pretty easy just to blend in. Like there's so
Correct.
many people. You can do the bare minimum to get by and not get fired. And maybe you get scolded, but it's going to take like a certain amount of time for your boss to come back around and check on you again. So you're like, okay, I got another 3 months before I get yelled at. But if you're in a small business, like that does not translate at all. Especially when we're getting these two businesses going. Some of the perspective that most people lack is like what I'm doing. Like I have to pay everybody. I have to spend money on ads. I need to make sure the sales team is closing people. Otherwise we ain't making any money. And then I need to make sure that once all of that happens, the client gets put into the service and they're happy and they stick around and they don't refund or cancel in the call center service. And we're actually succeeding. And unless all those things happen, guess what happens? everything starts to dissolve, and then your jobs are gone, right? Because if the business isn't making money, I literally I don't have money to pay you. I haven't found out how to print money yet. I'm trying to work on that. But it's super important because usually most people won't have that understanding coming into things because they haven't run a business and they just don't know what they don't know, just like I didn't before I did this. But if you explain that up front, I think it goes a long way and can get some extra buy-in, and people will actually see why you're on top of them to get their work done on time, to be reliable, to be consistent, to show up on time. And if you tell them why they have to do those things, and that it's not just because you're annoying or trying to control them, usually that helps a lot. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Agree.
Totally agree.
And it's very reasonable, but most people don't think to even explain that, almost because it's too basic sometimes, or it's assumed that they know it. All right, so we were talking about, what was the question I asked you
Work
guys?
from home.
Oh, work
Generally,
from
work
home.
from home.
Yeah.
Yeah. How it
Please.
worked.
Please share your perspective. Working from home, how do you how are we making it work?
So
And
I
what are the challenges, and how do you mitigate those and overcome them?
challenges. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, but I've been working with you for like 5 years now, right? And I've been working with other companies too in the past, and my tenure is basically pretty good. I haven't really been jumping from one company to another. I think it aside from commitment, the same with Rain, and camaraderie with same with the others. I think it comes to with responsibilities, because I have I'm a breadwinner, so basically when I work, it's not only for me, it's for my entire family. So I have to stick around, do what I need to do, because I need to keep my job. I'm committed to do this because I'm being aside from I'm being paid to do this, I cannot make my boss upset every time. So that's the thing. Because work is
I
literally
appreciate it.
no, although sometimes I can't help it. I can't please you every time. But then the good thing about it is how I'm managing it is I have a good bunch of people I'm working with, not just with the recruitment, but also with the call center. I've been communicating with them every single day, especially if I'm having struggles at work. If I need someone to talk to, I've been very open to them when it comes to that. Same with them, like if they have concerns or something. I think that's my main role in the company, Chris. They know that okay, Marius is one of the bosses, but I can still talk to her.
Yeah, it's
So-
really a compliment to Rain. Really
Yeah.
good compliment to Rain.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's
You're a good social glue.
yeah, I think you can call it that way. So maybe because I'm just a genuine person, Chris, and it's really like if I'm working with someone, I don't just treat them as colleagues. I treat them like family, like friends, and I think that's the reason why I stick around. It's because I think of them. If I go absent or if I quit, what is going to happen to them? So it's kind of more on like that. But yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's good that over time we just snowball, and the more high quality people we get, the more high quality people we
Yeah.
attract and keep.
Yeah.
We've had very little turnover. Obviously, we've had
Yeah.
like some people that we've had to let go over
Yes.
the years.
Mm.
Some people quit,
Yeah.
but they just didn't really click.
Yes.
And they just I think they naturally weeded themselves out,
And
which was good.
most of those people who quit did not even stay with the company that long. So I wouldn't say like, yeah, they have their own valid reasons, but then comparing to those people who stick around, I think if they quit, then there is really a big problem and that we need to consider or something. But for now, it's more on someone is adjusting. Is this company really works for me, or is this really what I want? Some things like that. But yeah. eventually, and I think it's because of the age. Being millennial, you just want to just, you know, just stick around because it's so tiring to look
It
for
is.
another job.
It is. It is.
Yeah, Rain, right? Yeah, we've
You're
been
just
talking
thinking
about-
if you really like him or you're just sticking around because you're
Is
getting
everyone
old.
just lazy?
No, I mean, as you grow older, you just want something stable.
Yeah, it's a giant pain in the
Yes.
ass to go find a new job
Yeah.
and start over for sure.
Stable.
So if you are gonna do that and rip the band-aid off,
Yeah.
like you've got to be in a good amount of pain.
Yeah.
And be pretty unhappy.
Exactly.
All
Plus,
right.
it's not
Any-
a good experience to, you know, look around and adjust, train again or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan, so yeah.
That's good.
Yes, great.
Any final thoughts at all? I think we're at 2 hours. We actually went for 2 hours. That was a long time.
For me, it's not. Working from home in general is really difficult. I've had my adjustments, and Rain has always been a witness to that. Like not waking up to my alarm, that sort of stuff. But overall, I think that for the business to work remotely, we have to have the proper tools to use, and at the same time, the proper mindset to be flexible. Like one of the big things that we have in the company in the customer service, I mean in the call center, is the hub staff. It helped out weed out people who can just go on not be present on their desks, and if they'd lie about it, then it's so
Yeah.
visible.
Hub staff is
Yes,
crucial.
it's crucial. And the flexibility or the mindset to be flexible with the job that we do, it's not easy to move around, getting accustomed to like the different companies we add in every week. And at the same time, the discipline, self-discipline, like getting proper sleep is so big, and that's what most people
That's what I'm
neglect.
lacking right now. in this-
Yeah. So it's I think that's big, because I think that the alarm clock problem I have for many months really stemmed out of not getting enough sleep. And so when I managed that, I learned to
The what problem?
sleep problem.
Alarm problem?
It's an alarm problem that gets into the alarm problem.
Hey, why?
So-
I'm confused.
So
I'm calling
I-
Kezia because she hasn't logged in, and I say,
Yes.
"Hey, Kez, where are you?" I'm calling her through Messenger, like looking for her. Where are you? She woke up. She said, "Sorry, I haven't the alarm didn't
Yes,
go
yes.
off."
Oh,
It went off, but I
it went
turned
off
it off.
for like several times, but I just didn't wake up.
oh, you
So,
slept
yeah.
through it because you're
Slept through it.
napping.
Yeah, so I was
Oh.
just napping.
Mm.
That's what I thought, at least. Well, yeah, management. I mean, managing myself and disciplining myself to really get proper rest and sleep, because it's so big. Like when you're working from home, you don't have bosses around. It's easy to
Yeah,
think.
you gotta have self.
Yes, it's so easy to think of getting a nap, and before you know it, the shift is over. Like you're just 2 hours in. So yeah.
It's a true story.
And you know our our shift here, right? I mean, you've
Oh.
experienced it yourself. We work literally at dawn
Yeah,
or at
that's
nighttime. So yes.
Cool. I think we're good. How have they not kicked us out?
I don't know. Oh, they can.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there.
I think we're good. That's 2 hours,
Inside
right?
out.
Yeah. All right.
Yay.
Good job, guys.
Thank-
Wait, 1 hour,
1 hour and 8 minutes.
Oh, I guess we got